The role of Chief Operating Officer is one of the more elusive roles in organisations. Often it's one of the harder to define. I think there's many flavours, and I think that's one of the immediate priorities for us whenever we set out on a journey as a new COO, is to really clarify what the expectations of our role is, the clear definitions of our role. And in many ways, often it offers up the opportunity of a lovely blank canvas. And we can use all of the skills and experiences and mindsets and knowledge at our disposal to be able to make the role really what we want to make of it. And most roles don't tend to have the flexibility that Chief Operating Officer does in terms of being able to craft out a role that really suits our personality and the value that we can bring to the organisation. This programme is centred around a leadership methodology called PPMC Leadership, People, Principles, Mechanics and Culture. In my experience, I've been involved with on the ground over 150 operating companies. I've been a CFO for a listed group, the $6.5 billion group, operating over 70 countries. I've been involved in over 50 acquisitions. I've also held a number of COO roles in organisations of varying scale. It's the lessons of those experiences that are encapsulated in the PPMC leadership framework. In my experience, the successful teams tend to cover four bases really well: people, principles, mechanics and culture. Companies don't need to be perfect in those areas, but I think they can't afford to fall down substantially in any of those four areas. And I think whenever you find there's challenges in organisations, it tends to be in one of those four buckets. I go deep in those four areas as part of the programme to, one, learn a lens that we can use to stand back and look at the organisation that we're engaged with. Two, to really think about how we can contribute strategically as well as operationally within the organisation that we serve and that we're working with. It's a 3-hour journey of thought provocation and reflection. There's also an opportunity to connect directly with me. I will invite you to an online forum, and it's an opportunity to raise any questions, either relating to the programme or simply related to your role. Along the way, I also teach a mini MBA. It's a real world MBA. It's very focused on business acumen and leadership rather than business administration. There's some finance for non-financial managers in there, and there's also had a set about understanding organisations with which we've previously been unfamiliar, or also be able to dissect the activities in organisations, because I think there's only a handful of activities typically we find in organisations. When you boil it down, I've identified 7 different flavours of activity. When we understand each of those 7 flavours, we can really start to understand the dynamics that really apply to those specific sets of activities. And I think the more we understand those, the more of a strategic contribution we're able to make in the organisation that we work with. Along the way also, there's an opportunity to stand back and look at our own personal growth, the teaching of PPMC leadership, and a number of other tools and frameworks that are subsets of PPMC leadership will give you vehicles to be able to share with colleagues and to help train some of the folks that you work with elsewhere in your organisation. So that's the backdrop to this programme. You can find the programme by clicking the link in the description or the comments. Also, I do keynotes and talks, lunch and learns, breakfast and learns, online forums. There's an opportunity there also to join the Outperformance Highway community. And please do subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.